Hey guys, what's up? This is a short haul video, haul slash kind of cleaning video. You can see I have my gloves on here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna usually when I get books that are that are just a little older, what I like to do is I'll just take some very sort of like cleaner, like a bleaching cleaning agent, and I'll go over and I'll essentially sort of wipe down all the dirt and grime off the comic. And so I'll go over what we got first, and then we'll go over and clean the comics and just talk about the books as I'm doing it. So this first book I picked up for 25 cents. It's a Bronze Age Green Lantern book, and normally I don't pick up Green Lantern books, and I don't have a really much of a Green Lantern collection, but when you come across a Bronze Age book for 25 cents, you really shouldn't. You should pick it up. This is a key. It's not an expensive book or anything. I think get books at around $5 or so, but it's an older book. Again, 25 cents. I thought it would be a great addition to the collection, so we got this one. And then we got, this is the big pickup. Yeah, I found this. This is the one I got for $5. So for both of these books, I paid, it was $5.25 plus tax, so about $5.70 something, 75 or so for the total. And this is a hot book right now. I think everything Neal Adams is really hot. And this isn't like it's a really beat up book. You can see like all the creases here. So it's a very low grade copy. I'm thinking, like with a press, it should do better. I'm sure like this crease cannot be pressed out, but some of these other creases just might, after a press, might fare better. But this is like a very thick book. I don't know if you can see. It's a pretty thick book right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of open this up. We're going to go through it a little bit, check to see, it's complete. I know the spine is having issues right now. It's barely hanging on right there. Because it's a thicker book, so it's when you have thicker books, the staples have more stress on them, and oftentimes the cover's the first thing to go on an older book like this. But luckily, it's still intact for the most part. And what we're going to do is we're just going to give this a nice wipe down and clean up this gem of a copy. So. There's a Neal Adams cover, and so I'll just going to take a brief pause, and we'll come back, take the book out, and we'll start just wiping it down. All right. Okay, so we're back. We have, for those of you that don't know, this is Superman 243, and it's a Neal Adams cover. This is a comic from 1971, October 1971. It's just a beautiful cover. It's a white cover. Superman's embraced in a very passionate kiss and hug with this alien who apparently falls in love with him. It's a pretty long story, this comic book here. But I just love the cover. Again, it's a classic Neal Adams cover. And we're just going to try to open this up a little bit to show you the inside. Now, the interior work on this book was Kurt Swan, and so we'll just take a look. This is the beautiful art that's in the book. I know for certain collectors. They think it's false advertising when a cover artist, the interior art doesn't match what the cover artist does, and I get it. That happens a lot. especially back in the day, you know, you'd buy a Jim Lee cover, and on the inside is somebody completely different. Especially some of those X-Men covers, you had oftentimes like Wills Portacio doing the art rather than Jim, which is, you know, I think a little bit of a disappointment, but not by much. And so I'm just looking on to see, you know, there we go, you know, some classic pages there. Yeah, we got some beautiful, look at that. You don't see that every day. The Superman 1 from 39, 49, all these. So this is actually a 25th anniversary issue, and what you'll see is in the comic they're showcasing some of the past covers, famous first issues of the Superman family. So we not only have Superman 1, we have Superboy, Jimmy Olsen, Lois Lane, number ones, all pretty cool. It's a nice little feature that's a part of this book. It's a great page. So we got a lot of stories here. So they also reprint a classic Superman story. Look at that. This is one where he's obviously fighting Lex Luthor. This could be Superman 1. I believe so. So they have a reprint of Superman 1 in here as well. So this is, you know, for those of you thinking, oh, I got to get a book by Neal Adams and looking for stuff to buy, this is my recommendation to you. Keep your eye on, look out for Superman 243. Again, it's got a great reprint here of a classic. The Battle of the Atom. This looks to be not a reprint of Superman 1, but let's see if we can find out. So anyway, it's a reprint of one of the earlier classic stories. So great. It's definitely Siegel Schuster goodness right here. So it's a reprint. That's nice. All right, and then just gonna take a look at what's in the back here. Got the mail call, Metropolis mailbag. Normally I don't do this with my books, but because this is such a special book, there we go. That's a nice page right there. Let's read that last word bubble. I've already written it with direct quotes from Superman. Too bad about Lois's little yarn, but maybe there'll be room for it on the back page. Great, you'll get a bonus for this, Clark. The end. That's the kind of golden age goodness that we're dealing with. Okay, so as you can see, this is a very dingy cover, and again, I've put some of that chemical cleaning agent on here. It's just like, you know, Clorox cleaner, but what we're going to do is we're just going to wipe it down, give it a nice little wipe down, and just try to get some of this dinge off. It's collected a lot of dust, so again, I'm not doing anything terribly stressful to the book. I'm just lightly wiping off dust and dinge on the back cover. Now, surprisingly, the back cover is in great shape compared to the front. That's a great looking back cover. I mean, it's got a little dinge on it, but for the most part, not very many creases or you know, it's just dirty. That's the only thing. It's a very dirty cover, and as you can see, we're already, I don't know if you can see that there. Let me turn this light on just a little bit so we can get a little brighter in here. There we go. You can see there's dust. There's already dirt and dust on there. It's not focusing. Yeah, you can see it, right? So what we're just doing is we're just lightly cleaning it up, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get some more cleaner because it's kind of dried off. Give me a second. Alright, so I'm back. We're continuing to clean here. Just got a little bit more cleaner here. Just wiping it down, giving a good wipe. There we go. Don't want to get too wet or else you're gonna soak into the paper and you're gonna stain it. So you always want to keep the cotton balls fairly damp. Fairly dry rather than damp. And this one, just giving a little wipe down on the edge there. That's where we want. It's just great to look at these old covers. And, you can see the oftentimes like Golden Age, everybody's so used to looking at the back of the Marvel covers. They don't appreciate DC. Keep in mind, DC was king back in the day, right? And Marvel eventually took over. It's a pretty heated competition in the Bronze Age for readership. But DC had the big guns. Superman was a big gun. Was a DC big gun. All right, so as you can see, look at all that dirt that we got off. You can see that, right? And so, it's pretty dingy. This is a 1971. This is a 50-year comic that we're handling right here. 50 years of sitting in somebody's box or collection, getting beat up, beat around, and finally ending up in my hands. And I'm gonna take care of you. Don't worry, I'm taking care of you for the rest of your existence. Look at that. Look at all that dirt that we got off. Now, we're gonna flip it over and do the front now. The front is the key. And to be honest, this is actually in better shape than I thought it would be, considering that front cover from the front there, it looked really bad. But the fact that I was able to leaf through the book tells me that the staples are still very intact. The only issue right here is right there. You can see that the cover has flipped and torn down. Let me see if that can flip. That piece can. What I like to do is I like to take an instrument like this and see if I can't. There we go. See? That can flip back around there. And what we may want to do is actually just keep it there a little bit. Get actually some like glue or something and keep that down there. I know oftentimes people think, oh, if you put glue on a book, that's restoring it and all this nonsense garbage. Trust me, like you can use like I'm not saying if it's evident, if you can feel it and it's evident and you use glue, that's going to get the CGC alarms are going to go off as restoration. But if you use a very minute amount of glue, and you don't need much glue to hold paper in place like this, and you just dab like the very end there, and you kind of keep it down, that'll keep that in place for however many years this book will be. And again, I'm not going to get this graded or anything. I may get it pressed at some point, but that will not be considered restoration by CGC standards. Just a little bit of glue to keep an edge like that down. So don't be afraid to do that if you feel it's necessary. on keeping a beautiful book like this, you know, to keep it looking its best, for a few, you know, just to, again, you don't want that to tear off. So to keep that, you know, pretty much in place, you want to take care of it, right? You want to maybe use a little glue to keep it on, to keep it in place, because it's going to be moving in and out of a bag and all that. So you definitely need to weigh the pros and cons. If it's to hold a page like that in place so that that ding doesn't, because, you know, bigger and better, you don't want that B and E to fall off. I would say go ahead and do it. Go ahead and use a little glue and you know, keep it on there. I want this trade dress looking nice. And again, I'm not using a lot of pressure. I'm just wiping it down. We almost had a little accident there. This corner is, I mean, this crease is so old and so deep that we have to be careful because it could tear. You see, there's a little tear right there happening. So I don't want to exacerbate that tear at all. Just want to get it clean. This is an absolute treasure. Now, given the grade and everything, this book is not going to be worth much, okay? I mean, it may in the future, but at the moment, this book in low grade is probably going to fetch, I would say, $20. $20. I mean, it's booking at lower than that. It's booking at like probably $5 or so. But I mean, if you get this book in low grade for $5 like I did, that's an absolute steal. Okay, that's an absolute steal, because if I was to go on eBay right now and try to get this book, maybe lower grade copies or mid grade copies, we're looking at you're looking to pay $50 to $60 for this particular book. So, you know, if you find this, hopefully you do in your hunt. I'm sure you and every other comic book collector right now is currently have your eyes open for Neal Adams stuff, and Neal Adams stuff is definitely a premium right now. I would say his Batman and Superman stuff especially. There we go. We got a lot of dinge off. Look at this. Off the back cover, we got a lot of dinge. Off the front, I'm just gonna use this one again to just get more stuff off. We want Superman and the comic to look as, because it's really dirty. I mean, if you look, the creases themselves have like collected a lot of dirt, and so just, I know people use eraser. I'm not big on erasing the white parts of any book. I just think it's too dangerous. What you want to do, especially on the white parts, just wipe it down. Oftentimes you'll get a lot of the dirt off. See, I'm already gotten a lot of the dirt off. I can see a noticeable improvement in the dirty areas of the book. All right. Beautiful. I just want to open this cover up one more time, just make sure that so this to me looks like some kind of, maybe it was a subscription crease, or even back here, because I doubt anybody who bought this book would have creased it like that. So it tells me that it was probably on the newsstand, because these books were abused when they were put on the newsstand, right? They were just kind of rolled up and, crumpled and all that. Corners, surprisingly, are still pretty sharp. Now, if I were to grade this book, and mind you, I am trying to get better at grading, but I'm not a professional grader by any means. But if I were to grade this book, I would put this book at a solid 3.30, solid 3.0, just because of all the creases. There aren't like the spine ticks and all that aren't necessarily evident. In fact, if you look at it close up, spine is actually pretty decent. I mean, it's not, it's a mid-grade. It's a mid-grade book just based on the spine because of that tear and all that. But really, the issues on this book is that large subscription crease right down there, and these deep creases here and here. So these creases here are what's gonna make it somewhat. I mean, it's gonna drop it. Those are major flaws because of just how deep and long and deep the creases are. So this won't ever be above a 5.0. Okay, the 5.0 is the best grade it could possibly be. But I'm saying it's going to be even lower because of that little tear. That crease is just really bad. It looks like someone, was like, doing that with it or something. But hopefully, what we're hoping for, not that I'm going to send this to CGC or anything like that, but hopefully I can get it pressed and cleaned at some point, because I think cleaning it up a little bit, and then also pressing out some of these there's a lot of little minor bends and stuff in the book, and I know that can definitely improve on a white cover. We could probably press out a lot of this lower stuff here, like this here you see here. That could probably get pressed out. Maybe even a large part of this. But I mean, the cover is in pretty bad shape, unfortunately. And in fact, I don't think I even need to glue this. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to press it there. And then, voila, I think we're done. There wasn't much dirt that came on this cotton swab, so that tells me I got a lot of the dirt and dinge off. That's what you want to do. You want to keep just wiping it down and look, and if you're not getting much dirt and dinge, well, there's some dirt and dinge here on this large crease. That large crease is probably a 50-year-old subscription crease. That's my conjecture. And a 50-year-old crease is going to have 50-year-old dust particles all along the line of the crease. So just try to get, I'm still getting a little bit of dirt and dinge out. So that tells me just give it a little bit more wipes down here. All right. Now, I don't do this with every book again. I just do it with the older books. And I find it just gives me peace of mind that, whatever little, because, I think what also that cleaning agent does is it'll keep, basically I've spread, we're even getting stuff off the back still. What I've done is I've spread some of that, bleaching agent on the paper, and so that should keep any kind of like fungus or mold from growing on the book, because this is paper and pulp, and you know eventually spores and stuff can develop if it's humid enough. You want to always try to keep your books, again, that bleaching agent is going to keep anything from really forming on there. And I think that's good. And I am just so happy I have this in my collection now. And what we're going to do is we're going to transfer this to a good bag and board here. I have such a bag. Just give me a minute. Okay, I just taped it back up and taking my gloves off now. I'm not going to clean that Green Lantern right now. The Green Lantern looks to be okay, and I don't think it necessarily needs me handling it. So I'm going to hold off on cleaning the Green Lantern. Green Lantern should be fine. I've already put it sort of in a nice back and board. Looks to be okay. Again, it's not that valuable book, but I was able to get this looking a little bit nicer. We got that was folded back. We got it folded there nice and neat there. And I taped it up nice on the back here. Get a new bag and board. It's got a sticker. It's not new in that sense, but this should do. This should suffice for keeping this presentable and in my collection. And it's another Neal Adams addition to the collection. So I've got, I've only got this is my 5th Neal Adams book, and but it's one I've been needing to get. And again, it's a special silver anniversary issue. It's got that great reprint in here, and again, it's got several stories. It's a thicker book, and again, I think I'm putting this grade at a 3.0. It might even actually be lower. Those creases are pretty bad, but on a white cover, again, it presents well. I got some of the dinge off, so it's presenting a little better now. And just what a beautiful classic to add to the collection. Yeah, beautiful. So yeah, it was a short video. Again, I paid $5 for this book, $25 for this book. So plus tax at half-price books, we're talking about $5.75, and I couldn't be happier with this haul. So under $6, we got 2 books, and one of them happens to be just a classic book, Superman 243. All right, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.